to GNoTE today?
Hey, speaking on a panel this afternoon about evangelism success stories. And I like to think that Microsoft, we've done some very creative and successful things around evangelism. And the place that I've been involved in is a little thing called Channel 9. Channel9.msdn.com is the URL. And today is a big day for us over there is that we've shipped our 1,000th video. 2.5 years ago, we launched Channel 9 with kind of a dream that, that there are human beings behind software at Microsoft, and we just wanted to show us some mini DV cameras and just interview people and have them talk about what they're passionate about. 2.5 years later, I don't think we ever dreamt it to be as successful as it is, but it has been, and it's been an amazing ride. Now we have another property, Channel 9's for developers, and we have another one that we call Channel 10, and Channel 10, www.on10.net. Where did you see it? I saw it on 10. Is a new community that we're launching. It's for the power user, the enthusiast. So it's been. So we're here today to be on a panel. I'm going to be on a panel with Jeremy Zawadmi, my good friend Buzz Bergman, and Anil Dash, and we're going to talk about evangelism success stories.
What tactics have you found effective for evangelism? Video obviously seems to be one, but what else comes to mind?
Guy Kawasaki, who's speaking this afternoon at GNoTE, coined the following phrase about evangelism to kind of describe it, people what they do, and it's, a great evangelist can eat like a bird and poop like an elephant. If you think about it, eating like a bird, birds eat many, 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 many times their weight in food. Now we all know the output of an elephant, huge. So when you think about an evangelist, it's all about taking that information that we consume, synthesizing it in a way that manages to customers and getting it out just absolutely broadly. And so that can be anything. That can be speaking at an event. That can be doing a video, recording an audio podcast, or maybe a screencast, which is a demo, very focused demo, kind of a screen capture of what you're doing. The bottom line is this, is tailoring the message or the thing that you want to get across that's in a way that's relevant and authentic and in a way that really matters to the audience. And Channel 9 is one of those things. What we found with developers is that, developers really don't want that marketing voice told to them. They want to be talked to by their peers. And so with Channel 9, we go around and interview developers at Microsoft with just cheap, inexpensive mini DV cameras, and we put that live on the web. Now, the really cool thing about it with Channel 9 is that we have this phrase that we say peer-to-peer over a beer. Now, if you and I are sitting down having a conversation in a bar, and I'm going to give you a demo of a product, I'm not going to start it off with, "Hi, I'm Jeff Sandquist, Director of Developer and Platform Evangelism at Microsoft. Today in this bar, I will demonstrate to you Visual Studio 2005 and how it'll impact your total cost of ownership in your organization." Ain't going to happen. It's all about tailoring that content, that message to the developer. I'm going to ask you, what are you working on? What kind of things are you building? What are you making? And I'm going to give you a demo. I'm going to say, hey, look how this is cool. That is how we try and approach our content on Channel 9. Now we've also launched a new site called 10, and Channel 10, is all about the power user. So what we're trying to do with that is have content that is relevant to the power user, have some fun along with while they're doing it, have it short and kind of unique in the style and tone. But the same type of thing is, what is it that people want to do with technology, and creating content along those lines.
How did you find out about GNoTE, or how did you get involved?
Early on, Anand and a number of the people that were kind of the founders of this organization contacted me and said, hey, we're thinking about creating something kind of an organization for tech evangelists. And my first response was like, wow, what a great idea. And so we talked a little bit about what they're trying to go and do, and they ran with the idea, and it really became something. And I guess because of those early conversations, he thought, hey, let's have Jeff on a panel here. So that's sort of how I heard about it.
What's your background, and what sort of skills did you develop that help you in your position as a technology evangelist today?
I'm a small town guy. I grew up in Estevan, Saskatchewan, Canada. Real small town, 10,000 people. Before that, before moving to the city of Estevan, we lived in a little town called Benson that had a population of 100 people. What was unique about that was that I ran bulletin boards since I was very, very young out of my parents' basement. And that was all about connecting with people to find answers to technology questions and so forth. So I've always been really working with online community since being a kid. So I think for me, how do they say, if you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail? For me, every problem looks like an online community. How can you get customers and people and companies working together to communicate? My most visible work I do is around Channel 9, but I also I'm involved in events that our company does. PDC, Professional Developers Conference that we have. When Microsoft have big news for developers, I'm intimately involved in kind of architecting our community strategy there. We have a big event coming up this spring called Mix, which is a web conference in Vegas. Sorry for the plug. Visit mix.com, but which is a great conference. But it's all about, you know, pulling and banding people together. You know, I think about communities and this type of works is that people go, oh, hey, I'm going to launch a community site. And I think that's actually not really how you want to think about it. The way I look at it is you want to build a music festival. And then people kind of look at me and go, music festival? What the hell are you talking about, Jeff? Well, what I mean by that is that when you go to a local music festival, you know, whether it's a country music festival or up in Seattle we have a music festival called Bumbershoot. Some of the most exciting things is that you've got music happening on stage, but it's the magic when you pull together the people standing in the audience, people busking, kids getting their faces painted, people buying food and dancing and all those things like that. When you pull those things together, that's when you have a vibrant, active community. And that's what I try and do with my evangelism is how do you create these music festivals? Channel 9, I absolutely believe we're there. We've got a music festival. People are, you know, partying in the crowds. We have this coffee house forum. We've got videos. People are taking our videos and doing unique things with them. They're linking to them on their blogs. 10, we're getting there. And it's hard work, but 10, we're getting there too. And now people are, you know, talking about the content we're doing. They're getting excited. They're creating their types of things. And that's how I kind of, you know, we approach the things that we're doing. So being a small town guy, you know, I've always had this desire to communicate and connect and get large amounts of people because, hey, in my hometown, we didn't have a lot of people. And through the internet, we're able to do that. So that's just sort of how I look at things.
How does Microsoft structure their evangelism? It seems like each company goes about it a little bit differently. What does it look like at Microsoft?
I think, you know, first and foremost, everybody who works at Microsoft is an evangelist. You know, and we kind of joke everyone who works at Microsoft is also a tech support person. On the latter, it's like whenever you go home, you're fixing your friends' and family's computers and doing that type of stuff. But equally on the same note, we all go and evangelize what's happening with our products and technologies. It's in our DNA. We're all a bunch of geeks. We all love tech. And nothing we like more is getting that story across. Evangelism, there's a group in Microsoft called Developer and Platform Evangelism. I don't know how big it is, but it's a good-sized group. And we align people by audiences and types of products and technologies. The key is that, you know, being agile. In the tech world, things are constantly changing, the technologies, the needs of customers, and the bottom line is what we're doing is we're always kind of adjusting to make sure that we're putting things together in a way that the customers care about. And that kind of goes back to that synthesizing the message when I talk about the bird and pooping elephant earlier type thing. You know, you're always trying to go watch what's in this for customers. Now, evangelism to me is not sales. It's not marketing either. It's kind of this magic when you pull all of those things together. And to me, the number one thing that I tell everybody on my team, and I repeat this over and over and over, so they'll be sick, you can play this again for you, it's that relationships first. Build the relationship first with people. Focus on the products, the technologies, the deal, you know, all that stuff secondary. It's all about the relationship. If you look at projects that don't go well, or where people are battling and arguing and fighting and things like that, it's like, did you even focus on the relationship first? Because if you focus on that, and you can come together as friends, and that's maybe kind of pushing it that you're going to come together as friends, but if you approach it that way, when things get hard and difficult to go through it, at least you can go have a beer and talk about it.
What would you like to see come of GNoTE, both today and going ahead?
You know, it's a community, you know? Like I said, everything looks like a nail when you have a hammer. So for me, it's, you know, building a community of network of evangelists, people sharing together and learning, people working together as companies, you know, the betterment of mankind, but that's probably pushing things. I just, you know, this is the start of a great organization, and I think the best is yet to come.